Hey Book Club, Dan here from One Man Book Club. I've got an update for you on my journey through the Wheel of Time. If you've followed me for a while now, you know that I've been putting off Wheel of Time because it's so blasted long. But in order for me to say that I am the true book nerd that I am, I felt like I needed to read it. Plus, the last three books were written by Brandon Sanderson, and they're the last three Brandon Sanderson books that I have not read. And so I want to read those last three Brandon Sanderson books. So I'm reading The Wheel of Time right now. I'm reading it straight through, like those 14 books. It's 12,000 pages. Reading it straight through would mean literally like 9 months of reading nothing but Wheel of Time. And even that would mean I would be committing to 45 pages a day, every day. And I don't mind the task, but I have a book club to run, and it just reading the same book for 9 months, same series for 9 months, just doesn't really fit into One Man Book Club's reading plans. I'm certain that you who follow One Man Book Club, because you like to talk about books and hear what I think, would probably get pretty sick of me exclusively talking about Wheel of Time all the time for like a whole year. So I'm approaching this task a little differently than other reading projects. I've become a book polygamist, for example, and now I'm reading multiple books at once. The Wheel of Time, I'm listening on audio, and then I'm reading something else as an ebook. It's making both books move a little slower than they would otherwise, but it does enable me to move through Wheel of Time and keep a regular stream of interesting books to talk to you all about. So, I'm also not reviewing the Wheel of Time as I go, because I think a separate review for each book would be kind of boring. So instead, I'm reviewing them in chunks. I read books 1 through 5, did a review on 1 through 5. And now I've finished up through book 11, the last book Robert Jordan wrote before he died. And book 12 is finally where the Brandon Sanderson book starts. So yay! I finished through book 11. Can we just have a moment to appreciate this feat? I've read 11 books of The Wheel of Time in 8 months. That's 9,040 pages. In those same 8 months, I've read an additional 28 other books. Call it like 12,000 pages. Wheel of Time's cool, but man, I am ready for it to be done. And hallelujah, the payoff is here, because book 12, 13, and 14, like I said, were written by the Brandon Sanderson. They're the last three Brandon Sanderson books that I have not read, and I'm basically really, really pumped to be able to read them. I'll just give you a little spoiler. I'm, as of right now, almost halfway through book 12. It's awesome. Like night and day difference. The Robert Jordan versus Brandon Sanderson reading experience is so different. It's so good. Brandon Sanderson is brilliant. These last three books are going to be epic. Okay, enough of that. Here are some thoughts on books 6 to 11 with a bonus ninja mode hint at the end. Okay, I'm sorry to say, but death by 1,000 details, that problem we've talked about, or you may have heard about, as the series goes on, it doesn't get better. It gets worse. The terrible male-female stereotypes, it gets worse. The obsessive descriptions of every female character's physical attributes with special attention to body shape and breast size, worse. The pacing problems, yeah, worse. The pacing is especially rough once you hit books 9, 10, and 11. They are well known and well documented and recognized as the weakest books in the series. They are big, they are fat, they are long, and nothing happens. Well, I mean, there's stuff that happens. There's a little bit of stuff that happens that's super important. It's super important as connective tissue for the bigger story, but still, there's like 900-page books where like there's one important thing or something like that. Just the storyline drags in those poor books. And I can't imagine being a fan since book 1 in 1990, faithfully waiting for a new book every year or two for 13 years, only to have been delivered book 10, Crossroads of Twilight, What a blow that would have been, especially not knowing that Brandon Sanderson was going to come along a few years to save the day. Now, you're this far in this review, you're thinking about reading Wheel of Time, and you just heard all that stuff I said, and you're like, okay, if it's so bad, why should I read it? Simple. The story is amazing. The Wheel of Time is a story of truly epic proportions. The world is huge, the lore is huge, the conflict is huge, the timeline, the stakes, the character growth, the battles, the relationships. Guys, it is all huge and it is so fun. If you love huge epic-sized fantasy stories where all the requisite magical powers, evil creatures, the chosen one prophecies, the oversized battles, the spending time in every common room of every inn and every town, you're going to love the Wheel of Time. Is it worth it, you ask? Yes, it is. If epic-sized fantasy is your thing, especially it is. But you want to know my ninja mode hack to survive books 9, 10, and 11. And this is awesome. It works. I highly recommend, if you're not into the details and you're struggling with 9, 10, and 11, here's what you do. Ninja mode from One Man Book Club. Use the Wheel of Time wiki to read chapter summaries of each of the books instead of reading them through. If something important or something interesting happens that you read about in the chapter summaries on the wiki page online, then go read the chapters and enjoy it. It's fine. Otherwise, just use those wiki summaries, get the facts, and move on. You have my permission. It's awesome. I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver. It works perfectly, and it's worth it. Content-wise, the sexual content did get turned up a couple notches toward the end of these middle books. It's all 100% off screen. It's all completely non-descriptive, but you definitely know what's going on. The violence steps up a little bit. No language concerns at all. And even those two concerns about violence and the sexual content I mentioned, even those remain very mild as far as that stuff goes. I just wanted you to know that it's there. Previously, I said books 1 through 5 are good for 12 and up. I'll say these books I've read are probably best for 14 and up. And even still, that's mostly because of the pacing. These books are long. And anyway, I'm off to finish this thing. I'll see you next time when I finish Memory of Light. It's gonna be amazing. Anyway, wish me luck. This was book 6 through 11. Books 12, 13, and 14 are on deck. Woohoo! Here we go. All right. Happy reading, everyone.